This is a quick tutorial about how to start the work with the Elgar Cello Concerto, the first movement. Many cellists and many teachers start from the beginning. And that's very good fun and all, but it delays the work on the real meaty, difficult parts, which, in my opinion, are from figure 10, all that section up to figure 14. So let's start from complete zero. We're learning the notes. So the best way to do this is, you guessed it, with long open notes with your inch tuner in your iPhone or whatever device. So you play long notes. In order to teach the fingers where they should be and also the degree of gap between them. Is it a semitone or is it a tone? That's very important to do slowly. Then, when we hit a shift, practice following the 5 steps to practice a shift. What are those? Simply press play, the departure note, then relax, then assess, very important, assess, and then shift. That's number 3. Then 4th step is press. Last, 5th step, play. So if you do that, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do that 5 times, you will be able to master the shift more easily. Then you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just do the shift. You see? So then keep working very slowly, note by note, with your inch tuner. Oh, another shift. Perfect. Work on your shift, all of them, with following the 5 steps to practice a shift. Then, once that's sorted, don't think for a minute that you're gonna vibrate. No, you're not gonna vibrate a note. You're gonna start putting things together. The next thing after mastering more or less where the notes are is bowings and putting the thing together. Bowings are super important, and how we marry, how we link the two is mega important. So you practice really slowly. At first, with no dynamics, that's perfectly fine. Then when you have done that for a few days, not a few times on the same day, no, a few days, we're talking about 3 or even 5 days, practicing slowly, combining with note by note, practice with your tuner, and practicing daily your shifts, following the 5 steps to practice your shifts. Then you can start putting some dynamics. Again, don't put vibrato just yet, okay? Then once you have done that for a few days, 5 days, then you can start putting some vibrato again, very slowly, very slowly. So you can, I am playing it actually a bit too fast. You can go even slower. It's only going to be a good thing. If you find that a place is tricky, like for example, you will find that these places are tricky. Those are scales. Yeah, that's why it's so important to practice scales. You want to practice those with rhythms. Or so you want to do all sorts of combinations. Same in the next one, which is even harder. It's an arpeggio. So I would stress practice with the tuner so you know where things are, especially because the thumb position can be quite tricky. Practice the sixth, and then also check the octave. Then you go to practice. This is shift related. You want to prepare the shifts. For example, you have the first shift here. See that shift? Some people shift like this. I don't like it because my fingers are very small. I almost have no fingers. So what I do is I shift through the inside of the cello, which enables me to shift faster and more accurately. You see? So you want to practice your shift, so going backwards through the inside of the instrument, and anticipate. Always anticipate. Not, you don't want that, you want to anticipate. And how are you going to do that? Practicing slowly. Now in this part of the video, I want to have a little look at figure 12. Figure 12 is slightly faster, so things happen at a much faster pace, so we need to react faster. Again, we start the practice from scratch with your inst tuner, and you even when you practice note by note, anticipate your shifts, always. You can last on each note as long as you wish. I tend to do between 5 and 8 beats. You can last 10 if you have the time. It's only be a good thing for your tuning, your geography, mastery of the fingerboard, and your sound. Always seek for a beautiful resonant sound with tons of harmonics. Then, once the tuning and the geography work has been done, then we can start practicing slowly. Please don't use masses of bow, because that's only going to play in detriment of your dexterity and speed when you come to play faster. You want to play with short bows. I vibrated a bit, but don't vibrate at first. Then once you've done that a few times, you saw how little bow I use, even at the slow speed. That's where you have to really control your bow. Keep thinking about your preparation of the fingers. Preparation constantly. One thing that one of my teachers taught me is the feeling of the beats constantly, and that's actually a very good thing, because if you feel, I call it chicken wings, like a chicken or a pigeon, you sort of anticipating, even if there's not a shift, you just feeling the tempo, but if there's a shift, you are anticipating it. So it's like anticipation by default. So that's really, really, really useful. And then you can gradually start increasing the tempo. Once you feel confident enough, you can start applying dynamics and also applying vibrato. So we don't have too much time in those places. So things happen very quickly. So we don't have time to overindulge with the vibrato. So I tend to do maybe just 2 vibratos on those little triplets. Just to make sure you put enough vibrato, enough salt and pepper, and then crack on. Okay, the worst thing that can happen is that you overdo it with the bow and then overdo it with the vibrato. It gets clumsy. It's very, very hard to follow in the orchestra. Okay, so that's the way to practice this. If you find this very important, if you find a problem, which make no mistake, you will find a problem here. You'll find that to be really hard both times. Practice it slowly. Isolate the problem. Okay, isolate that problem. Lastly, let's talk about the after 13. This is specifically bar 77. There you have very interesting things happening. You have the pianissimo. There are many things we have to be aware of. Again, we have to practice note by note. Now, the thing with Elgar, and why I think this is such a difficult concerto, is that things are quite uncellistic at times. For example, this shift here, this mega extension. You see, some people might want to do 1 3 1 2. I like doing it 1 2 and do a shift semi extension because it saves me time. If I do 1 3, then the first finger is still too far, whereas if I do 1 2, you see I can crack on in a more swift manner. So that's the first thing. You want to work out those shifts. They're quite tricky. Many times. Mega extension, another mega extension between 3 and 2, extension between 2 and 1. If you do a different fingering that entails, that includes a shift, you still have to practice the shift. So follow the 5 steps for practicing a shift. Now, the other thing I really wanted to talk about in this section is in the largamente in bar 78. You have that pause. Check the score. It is so important. One of my teachers told me you have to practice with 2 music stands, one with your music and one with the piano or orchestra score in this case, so you know what is supposed to be happening in the orchestra and that doesn't surprise you when you play with the orchestra or the pianist. So the place that we need to check is bar 78, second beat. In the second beat we have the pause. So the orchestra starts with you, but then has a triplet with a pause. So their pause is in the second triplet of the second beat in bar 78. So you play boom, pause, and then the conductor will show that, or you look at your pianist, you have the last quiver of the second beat in bar 78 with the orchestra. So that specific place is quite difficult to put together. You want to rehearse that and to know that sort of thinking is required. Last thing I'm going to tell you is make sure you subdivide your triplets, specifically in bar 73 where you have 5 of those. It's very easy to rush, very easy to just crack on with it. So make sure you think about that there. Make sure you count your quavers and look at your conductors. Some conductors like doing it in 6, some conductors like doing them in 4, conducting the dotted crotchets. So that's something you need to think about. I hope this very quick tutorial helped you. This is the first thing I would do, not even that. I wouldn't do that. I would start with figure 10, between figure 10 and figure 14, because that I would say is the really challenging place, both technically and also musically. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial of how to start and what to start and where to start your work in this concerto. I very surely will publish another one of this, how to practice the beginning, how to practice the scale. If you practice your scales, you should be fine. In the meantime, go practice. Bye.